America's high-skilled workforce is built on a massive, hidden foundation. Right now, hundreds of thousands of highly skilled professionals are legally residing in the U.S., quietly working while stuck in decades-long immigration backlogs. We're talking about 1.2 million Indian families alone. These are nurses, engineers, and teachers who have established deep roots here, bought homes, and meticulously followed every single immigration rule on the books. Now, a sudden administrative memo threatens to pull the rug out from under all of them. The directive is blunt. Temporary immigrants seeking permanent residency must now leave the U.S. and return to their home countries to apply for green cards. Lawmakers and legal experts are sounding the alarm. By forcing people to leave the country to finalize paperwork they've been waiting on for years, the administration replaces a legal pathway with geographic exile. This diagram shows the process that used to exist, known as adjustment of status. For decades, if you met the strict legal criteria, transitioning from a temporary visa to a green card was an administrative formality. You stayed safely inside the U.S., filed your paperwork, and moved forward. The new memo removes that administrative process. For long-term residents, the automatic pathway is gone, replaced entirely by subjective officer discretion. Checking all the legal boxes is no longer enough. Now, immigration officers have the power to reject applications even when all legal requirements are met. This erases the objective legal standards immigrants rely on. A system once governed by predictable laws now operates on high-stakes bureaucratic whim. For H-1B and L-1 workers, the dual intent status, which historically protected temporary workers seeking permanent status, no longer guarantees approval. This graphic shows the new hurdles applicants face. First, workers must now provide a spotless tax history to a skeptical immigration officer. Next, that same officer will scrutinize family situations and domestic stability as a metric for approval. Finally, applicants must provide subjective evidence of career progress and economic value. If an officer isn't convinced, the door shuts. Even F1 students working on STEM OPT extensions face a new barrier. Earning a PhD is no longer sufficient. They must now prove their presence actively serves the national interest. And for the EB2 and EB3 employees who have already waited in a backlog for 10 years, the burden is even heavier. They suddenly need to provide evidence of deep U.S. ties, like having children who are raised here. Congressman Joaquin Castro warned that this policy weaponizes red tape to separate families, threatening to remove the very professionals keeping the American economy running. With a policy this disruptive, the timing raises questions. Is this about immigration reform, or is there a hidden motive? The U.S. and India are finalizing a major trade negotiation. Analysts suggest this memo acts as a diplomatic pressure tactic to force India's hand. The Cato Institute argues that weaponizing visas this way defies economic logic and harms the domestic market. This map highlights the movement of talent. This friction drives the world's best engineers and scientists away from the U.S. and toward nations like Canada, Europe, and Australia. While the policy faces court battles, the 1.2 million families caught in the backlog now face an immigration system that has traded its legal predictability for administrative uncertainty.